Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video, as part of our continuing series on Bring That Mercedes Back from the Dead, I'm going to be replacing this. Do you know what this is? This is a diesel primer pump. Now, almost all Mercedes up to, I think, 85, and maybe a couple other years, use primer pumps. Now, you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a primer pump? And I'm not going to assume that you know. Basically, a primer pump helps you draw fuel from the tank and prime the fuel system through the fuel filters up to where the injection pump is. Why would you want to do this? A couple of reasons. If you change your fuel filters, you would need to do that because there's no fuel in there. And instead of cranking and cranking and cranking for a long period of time to have the mechanical pump on the engine try to draw the fuel from the tank and fill the filters, you have a primer pump. It's very easy. Once this is screwed in, you just do like that, and it acts as a small, tiny pump to draw fuel and fill the filters. The other reason you may want to do it is if you have any fuel service done, whether it's your injectors, your injector lines. While this doesn't pressurize the pump and anything after the pump, a lot of times when you do a fuel service, that will require you to remove or loosen the fuel filters themselves, and they can lose their prime. Another good reason for this is if you ever run out of fuel in a diesel, especially the Mercedes, instead of cranking, again, you can just do this and it will fill the filter up. And there'll be minimal cranking. You still may have to crack the lines on the injectors to get the air out from the injection pump forward to the engine, but this is a great little device. Modern diesels don't use these anymore. Pretty much they all have like the TDI. It draws fuel and has the pump inside the injection pump. But later diesels have actual electric pumps just like a gas car would. So the reason that I'm changing this is because the pump that I have is the old style where it unscrews and there's a long plunger that comes out. I'll show you what it's doing. It's leaking diesel fuel every single time you pull the plunger up. That's bad for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's messy. Number two, if it gets on the motor mount, it's gonna degrade and corrode the rubber over time, and I'll end up having to put motor mounts on there. This style pump is the newest style pump. It's much better. It's not prone to leaking like the old ones. So I'm going to show you guys how to change this. It's very easy, and it's one of those things that can get overlooked if you have an old Mercedes. So let's get this job done. All right, so here is the old style pump. You just unscrew the top like this, and then you just pull the plunger up like that. And as you see, it squirts diesel fuel all over the place. So that's got to go. And I'm going to show you how to do that next. All right, so the fitting or the size wrench that you will need to do this job is a 17 millimeter. The problem is there's not really any room to get a 17 millimeter in there. Ideally, you want to have a crow's foot and a long extension. I don't have a 17 millimeter crow's foot, and what I'm going to use is going to be a crescent wrench. Now, I know normally you would never want to do that, and I wouldn't, but what I'm going to do is, because we're going to get rid of this, I'm just going to use some vice grips or channel locks, because I don't care if it gets messed up. It's bad. So we'll just get these in here. All right, so once you break it loose, you should just be able to unscrew it by hand, and there will be, or there should be, a copper washer. Yeah, it's right there, still in the pump itself. So this is what it looks like up close. I'll give you another shot of that later. The new pump comes with a brand new copper washer, so we need to get this one out of here. And you may have to use a small screwdriver or a pick. There we go. Don't reuse these. Alright, so make sure that the new copper washer is on the new primer pump. And just screw it in. Alright, so to use the pump, it's very easy. You just press it up and down like that. There's nothing, there's no leakage to occur, there's no anything to unscrew. Just reach down and press it like that. So this is a very, very easy repair. Alright, so here is the old primer pump. And it basically, this plastic piece is attached to the plastic shaft, and what happens is the seals go out. It's an effective pump, but they have a lot of problems, so they're not worth doing anything with except replacing. They don't even make these anymore. They have long since switched to the new style pump, which I much prefer, and it's got a lot of advantages over that pump. So I just wanted to show you guys that, and I will see you guys on the next video.